Have you fallen down the cottage industry rabbit hole yet? Well, if not, buckle up, Alice, and click on over to the description in the show notes and sign up. Then you can get ready for the most fun induction into the cult of all things yarn and fiber. This will include, but not limited to, free yarn, free ebooks, patterns, coupons, and much more. You don't want to miss out.
You are listening to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts, a podcast featuring two crafty besties who love true crime and a good cup of joe.
Hello, amateur sleuths. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Heidi. Welcome
to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts.
Woo.
How's it going?
I picked up my mug and touched the bottom, and it's real hot.
Because you have a nice warmer.
I have a mug warmer.
We have mug warmers so that we keep our coffee nice and hot.
Real hot.
And I wish everyone could see my mug because it's super cute. But I am drinking out of, it's a horror genre mug.
We will get a picture of it.
You're going to have to get a picture. It was gifted to me by a sweet man.
By her boyfriend.
He was very thoughtful.
That is like the most thoughtful gift. I love thoughtful gifts.
Yeah. It says, in this home, we love family, dream big, watch scary movies, play games, and love Friday.
But it's
got all the little characters.
They're so cute.
Super cute. And speaking of coffee.
Yes.
We come back to the Temecula coffee roasters and TBD coffee. This one is called This Coffee Dated Pete Davidson. And it's not only comical, but it's delicious.
Yeah. So that company has actually been like getting a lot of traction because of that specific one.
Right. It makes sense.
Yeah. Their artwork is hysterical too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this coffee bean I'm guessing it's a female.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a coffee bean. It's a female coffee bean.
So cute.
But she's got like big lips and feels like she would be the current girlfriend of Pete Davidson.
Current fiance.
Oh, is that what they are now?
I'm pretty sure they're engaged. Yeah.
Lord of mercy. Well, anyways, the TBD Coffee Company is out of Temecula, which is in California, and it's north of San Diego. And it is roasted to order, small batches, farm direct, and delicious. And it's organic.
Yeah.
This is just, it's a good coffee. I like it. And I know that the TBD Coffee listens to us because they commented on our Instagram, and it was funny because they complimented me on having a boyfriend.
That is so cute.
I think it was funny.
I love it. I fucking love it.
So they're going to be listening to this episode too. So thank you, Temecula Coffee. We love you.
Thanks for the TBD.
We love it.
It's kind of funny because like I don't think people really research their coffee when they're buying it. They buy what's cheapest, and I don't think they really understand like how gnarly the coffee industry is, and buying from like make sure you're buying from good companies that actually have good standards. for the
it's
work
really
environment
important.
of the farmers, not just the farm owners, but the people that work the farms. There are some really big coffee companies, which I'm not going to say their names, but y'all know who I'm talking about because they are the biggest coffee company in the fucking world. And the other biggest coffee company, which makes a really cool coffee machine that is really, really popular. That the only reason I haven't bought one is because it's owned by this big company.
Yeah.
They, they certify fair trade, but like, then, investigators are going in and finding that it's not the work conditions that they should be
Because
working.
they're
These
using money to
people-
pay off.
These children under 13 years old are working the farms for like the price of a cup of coffee per day, maybe, or per week. 17-hour days. So
yeah,
really,
it's sad that we are in this century and still not able to care for our young people and have proper working conditions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like kids here have no idea how good they have it.
Nope.
They're now able to get high school jobs at McDonald's and Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A for like $15 an hour.
Right.
That is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And then we have other places that are using child labor and not even taking care of these kids.
All around the world, it's a thing. So
it's
just remember that when you're choosing your coffee beans.
When you're buying anything, really.
Well, yeah, that too. As I'm wearing my sweater from Target.
I know.
So, I mean, yeah, it's hard to get around it.
It's hard. It's tough. But we'll move to other things.
Damn, girl. I was like, are those full?
No. But I was showing
the
difference.
Yep.
So I like it. We need to maybe go back to the bigger skull.
I don't know. I kind of like it. Little. Like that. I don't know why. It's cute.
You like a little tiny one?
I think it's cute.
But anyways, this is our new mug. And this was our first run.
So the first run just has black lettering.
And this has blue and black.
Yep.
So I wanted to show that.
Yeah.
And
stickers. Stickers. I forgot.
So we have 3 different sizes, and now you can, if you're watching, here's a little baby one. These are good for phones or
wherever you want to put it.
Wherever you want to put it. And then we have the next size.
Cute. I have one on my computer.
A biggie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have one on my computer too. It's actually the one though that came in the Patreon.
Nice. It's a little different.
But yeah, I have been giving these out. I have a radio DJ host. My friend Randy Slack, I'm gonna give him one. He's gonna put it on his door.
Yes.
At the studio.
Yes.
So hooray for friends, hooray for supporters, hooray for our loved ones, because we appreciate you guys.
And especially hooray for our loved ones who are also our supporters.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of people who want to do stuff like this don't have the support like we do.
Right.
Like their family.
We have an outpouring of not necessarily financial. We're not saying we're financially being.
But the fact that some of them are Patreon subscribers too,
right?
Like that's so super cool to me.
Yeah, that's pretty special.
So
we love everybody, guys.
When my mom is texting me like, "When does the new episode come out on Patreon?" I'm like, "Okay, hold your horses, woman."
Yeah. So go out there and get some things. We got some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll talk about art now.
Yes. Oh, I'm excited because I don't know what it is.
It's a painting I did.
Well, duh, but like still, I don't know what it is yet.
I'm calling it the plant forest because I don't know what else to call it.
I mean, that's fine.
This one was definitely a lot of my own paint mixtures.
Nice.
And I don't think it's gonna go well in the Zoom. So YouTube guys, I'm sorry, but
there will be pictures.
Will pick up the colors better.
I can also
the background is one of my favorite colors. It's like this really, really deep, dark green.
Right. At the end of the episode on YouTube, I can totally add a picture.
Okay.
Of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Ooh. No, you can totally see it. It's really pretty.
Can you see?
I mean, it looks like black a little, but I could see it green.
Yeah.
That's really pretty.
So
I love it.
I love this one too. It's a good one. It was fun to do. It really helps me with my art therapy. Perfect. Oh yeah, of course.
Do the sides
all
people.
The way around.
Get that gallery wrap. Oh yes.
Yes. Woo.
I love it.
It's one of my faves. So yeah. And like always, it's for sale.
Yeah. But message me, not her.
Yeah, don't talk to me about pricing because
she's
I'll lowball myself every time.
Not okay.
So, but that one is the 20 by 24. No, I don't remember. It's a big one.
That's pretty big.
I'll have to measure it again.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good one. I'm still working on my earth one too, the stitching. It's sitting on my desk still.
She thought she would have it done.
I'm terrible, guys. I was hoping to have it done.
You're not terrible. Life happens.
Oh, it's been so crazy busy too.
And as everybody heard, Kristen's AC went out. So like there's a stressful thing happening. So
yeah. Man, oh man.
And what happens when we get stressed? We can't think.
I'm overwhelmed. And it's hard to put everything together. I forget to check my mail. I forget to
Oh man. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, my mom was like opening my mail and I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, you're not going to do it."
Yeah, seriously.
I was like, "Oh, my mom's calling me out."
I always have to text Kristen and be like, "Did your package arrive?" She'll be like, "I don't know. Let me ask my mom." And then it's like, "Yep, it did 3 days ago."
So, to my loved ones, thank you for always being patient with me because I'm terrible with my memory.
It's fine.
It's bad.
You have a lot going on.
Yeah, it's not an excuse. I don't want to forget my loved ones.
But we all understand.
I know.
I mean, I hope
That's why I am appreciative of you guys.
Just gotta, lift each other up.
Right.
And send reminders.
That's what I always say. Lift each other up. Don't tear each other down.
Damn straight.
Yeah. So trigger warnings, bullying, drowning, jealousy, and drowning equals murder, death.
Okay. Drowning equals murder, death. Okay. I like that.
I forgot to put in there that murder is in there. I figured drowning is
Right.
Yeah. Although people drown and come back.
I'm just really glad that you know how to say drown.
Okay, you're welcome.
People go drowning, and I'm like, no.
Oh no, it's drowning.
It's not a word. Drowning isn't a word. Okay.
There's no D.
No.
No. Oh boy. Okay, so this is the murder of Michele Avila.
I do not know this one.
I think you'll remember when we get through the story.
Okay.
It's a murder most foul, and can you imagine being murdered by your best friend? Question mark.
That sounds like the fucking worst possible thing ever.
Yeah, I think it's more tragic to me than being murdered by a jilted lover or a family member.
Yeah.
Because my best friend would never do this, right, Heidi?
No, I would kill somebody for you, but
Yes, I know. Heidi has threatened many people in our lives.
oh my God. Sorry, I have a story. Yesterday, Kimberly came to give bath
Uh-huh.
to Dwight, and she came in and she was like, oh my God. I was just at Walmart with her friend,
Uh-huh.
one of her girlfriends, and like both of their little kids. And there was like a guy following them around the fucking store.
Oh.
And so thankfully they like hustled out of there and got in the car super quick. But her friend was like freaking out. Oh my God, what if he follows us? Kimberly, she's like, don't worry, we're going to Heidi's house. If I roll up there fast with the horn honking, she'll come out with the shotgun.
That's true.
I was like, well, she's not wrong. So
yeah.
When my friends are in trouble, you know, it's not like I would shoot the guy, but like I'm gonna scare him away.
Yeah. It'll be nasty.
Yeah.
So we laugh, but seriously, how heartbreaking would that be?
It's
Just
really
have
terrifying.
that tragic end of your life.
Well, and like how fearful and sad and heartbroken really would you be during your dying time? I can't even imagine. No, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. So this, my friends, brings us to a very sad, sad story, but we're going to start at the beginning.
Okay.
All right. So Michele Yvette Avila she goes by Missy for all her family and friends. She was born on February 8th, 1968 in Los Angeles, California. She lived with her mother, Irene, and her three brothers, Ernie, Chris, and Mark. There's not a lot known about her childhood, but Missy had a best friend.
Okay. So she thought.
So she thought. Yeah. Karen Severson and Missy had been best friends since they were 8 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The two girls grew up in a town called Arleta, Los Angeles, in the San Fernando Valley.
I've never heard of that town.
I have not heard of Arleta either.
And I used to live in LA.
But
LA's
we all know San Fernando Valley.
Yeah.
Valley girls time.
Oh my God.
Like totally. So for those that don't know where that is, it is in California, where we grew up. The girls had a typical best friend relationship. They always spent their time together, weekends, after school, riding bikes. And they just grew up as regular California kids.
Right.
Time passed and they became ninth graders. They went into high school.
High school sucks.
High school's awful.
It's really terrible.
It's not fun for most people. And it just had that time of your life. There's so many hormones and just energy that is difficult to maneuver. Social skills are still awkward and you're trying to find out how to fit in and all that other BS. I try and tell my kids, like, the opinions of others don't matter. If you're happy, you're healthy, you're making good choices, and you like how you look, you like your clothes, your hair, then embrace it and go out there and be, who cares what other people say?
Right.
So they went to San Fernando High School.
Okay.
And this is where their relationship kind of took a turn.
Because we all know what happens in high school. New friends happen.
Yeah, just a lot of BS.
There's a lot of cliques, different groups of people.
Yeah.
It's pretty, that's why I left after 9th grade. I was like, fuck this shit.
Heidi and I met when she was in 9th grade. I was in
Independent
10th.
study, y'all. Independent study. If you're anything like me, just, yeah.
Yeah. It worked out for her very well.
Yes.
So the girls started growing apart, and Karen grew jealous with envy of Missy because she was considered more attractive and popular.
I actually know how that feels.
You do?
Yeah.
Because you were the attractive, popular one?
No. One of my best friends was the most attractive and popular one.
Oh, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then there was me.
You were my real best friend. That's why we're actual best friends.
And you were the more attractive and popular one of the two of us.
It wouldn't really.
I had friends because Heidi, everybody wanted to be Heidi's friend, guys.
I don't understand why though. Such a dork.
Anyways, I was weird and socially awkward.
That's why I love you.
I know. I love you too. Unfortunately, jealousy got the better of Miss Karen. And though it seemed that Missy was the one who was spending less and less time with Karen.
Okay.
I don't know if it was because she felt the tension between them or what have you, but she was spending more time with boys and other kids.
Right.
Karen would often start rumors about her best friend, stating that Missy was having sex with various different boys.
Oh my God.
Yeah. These rumors got so bad and flared up that other girls were getting pissed off. And Missy was jumped by some of the girls after accusations of Missy was sleeping with their boyfriends.
Great.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
It all sounds familiar too.
Ugh.
High school really
girls
sucks.
are
And girls are fucking
girls
mean.
are nasty to each other.
They really
Like,
are just mean in high school. Like it's a thing.
it really is. Mean Girls is a thing.
It
but
really is.
sometimes it carries over into adulthood because those people can't leave high school.
Yes. How many people
they
are
still
it's so
mean.
crazy.
Yeah.
40-year-old women. I'm like, yo, y'all need to
Chill.
get out of high school. It's some bullshit.
Yeah. Focus on yourself.
Support each other.
Self-improvement.
Yeah.
So while the girls were in their junior year of high school, Missy began dating a boy named Randy. The relationship was fast starting and fast ending, and they dated for about a month. And that was because Missy didn't like that Randy was always partying, just, drinking, doing drugs.
Yeah.
It was the 80s, so a lot of that was
still like that.
Well, true. But they're doing it differently.
Yeah, it's different now.
Yeah. So the drinking, doing whatever. Interestingly enough, though, after the breakup, Randy began dating no other than Karen. So who was really the problem?
Yeah.
And Karen and Randy moved into an apartment together, which is rather odd because they're still children in high school, but it was different times. So I guess, I don't know. I don't know how old Randy was either.
Well, he may have been an adult dating a child. He could have been dating a child.
Because it don't say he went to high school together.
Yeah.
It just says that in their junior year of high school.
Right.
So we can only assume certain things. But during this relationship, Karen and Randy were in the apartment. There were times where, for some reason, Karen and Missy were still hanging out. So they were still being friends.
Right.
But Karen was constantly starting all these problems with Missy. And during that relationship, there was an incident where Karen saw Randy pulling Missy onto his lap. And Missy told Randy she didn't want to date him and had no interest in being with him, and told Karen that she should break up with Randy. But Karen got really upset and angry over this.
At the wrong person, it sounds
correct.
like, too.
It's always the wrong person.
Yeah.
So she stopped speaking to Missy.
It sounds to me like they just had a toxic relationship to begin with.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And it's so sad because it seemed like they had a long friendship.
Right. But like we've all had those friends where like it's like they become a family member. Okay. So think about that. Oh, toxic family members are a thing, you know.
Yeah.
And people have this problem where like, well, he's my dad. I can't not have him in my life. Actually, yeah, you can not have him in your life if he's a toxic person, or like a toxic mom or a toxic sibling or an aunt or uncle or whatever, a cousin.
Right.
It doesn't matter who they are to you. If
Yeah.
they're a toxic person, you don't need them in your life, and you can let go of them.
Yeah.
So just, oh God, it kills me.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
It is hard.
After that incident, sometime later, this was about 10 days before Missy's murder, Karen and Missy got into a fight at a neighborhood park. Witnesses proclaimed that Karen threatened Missy with a broken beer bottle and assaulted her, and finally slapped her in the face. So obviously this was not a good sign of things to come.
No.
It's very bad. On October 2nd, 1985, there was a night where Missy told her mom, Irene, that she was going to go out with a friend named Laura Doyle. Now, a few hours later, like 3 or 4, Laura called Missy's house and asked to speak to Missy, which Irene was very surprised about, because she was like, but Missy was with you, so I don't understand why you're calling for her.
Oh, no.
Laura said that she dropped Missy off and saw her get in a car that looked like a blue Camaro with 3 young men.
Oh, no.
Laura said that she went to run an errand, and when she came back, Missy was gone with the three boys. 3 days later, on October 5th, 1985, Missy's body was found face down in a body of water at the Big Tahunga Canyon in the Los Angeles National Forest.
Shit.
She had been drowned in 8 inches of water. Her long, beautiful hair had been lopped off, and a log was found on top of her holding the body in the water. Yeah.
Jesus. Like,
fucking awful.
Can you imagine being her mom? And like,
it gets worse.
The moment when that friend calls who she's supposed to be with, like,
yeah,
hearing she got in a fucking car, a random car with 3 dudes. Dude, I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
How did our moms survive? God. Okay, carry on.
Tough, badass lady.
For real.
This news obviously devastated Missy's family, and Irene was distraught. She never suspected it would be her friends.
Shit.
Both Karen and Laura attended the funeral for Missy, and Karen became quite obsessed with being a part of Missy's family.
Uh-oh.
She even moved in for a time. She went out and helped the family after Missy died during the investigation. Like, because
the worst.
Because the mom, Irene, was like, I got to figure out what happened. Who murdered my children? So she was like on a path of figuring it out. And Karen was right along with her the whole time.
It's always that person.
She is quoted in saying, "I wanted to know how the police investigation was going. I wanted to know who the suspects were and what evidence they found. So what better way than to befriend Missy's mom, Irene, to find out the ins and outs of everything going on." Missy's grave was visited by Karen several times a week. She also visited the location where the body was found, and she had pictures and newspaper clippings all over her bedroom walls.
That's fucking scary.
Right?
Creepy.
Like, super.
It's one thing to be a best friend. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It's awful. The murder of Missy went cold for 3 years. The police had no leads, and the case went stale.
I still don't know this story. It's wild. I'm like shocked right now. I don't even know this case.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
Mind is blown.
I'm glad I could bring this to light.
Thank you.
It's important.
It is.
It's an important story. In July of 1988, another girl named Ava Chirambolo, I'm probably butchering that, so I apologize, but
It's okay.
She came forward about what happened to Missy. Took her 3 years, but apparently her brother committed suicide, and she was having thoughts of like Missy her case never being solved and how that must feel for her family. So she finally came forward and told what happened. On the day of the murder, Karen, Laura, Ava, and Missy went to the National Forest. It's unknown if that was part of the plan or if Karen and Laura felt like it would be a better place because it's more isolated.
Oh, God.
Missy had no idea what was to transpire, and neither did Ava. But they found themselves in a situation that they could not get out of. When they got to the wooded area, Laura and Karen got out of the vehicle and began yelling at Missy. Moments prior, they were all giggling, laughing, listening to music because Missy thought that her friends had come back and they were friends again. And they were just going to go hang out for the day.
Yeah.
Missy began crying, and the girls forced her out of the car and began to get physical with her by pushing and shoving, calling her names and accusing her of sleeping with their boyfriends.
Great.
Mind you, Missy dated the boys before the other girls had relationships with them.
Yeah.
Even Laura dated a boy named Victor, and he had dated Missy before. So like the girls were getting seconds, and then so they were thinking that the boys still wanted to be with her and blaming Missy. And it's not her fault at all.
You can't stake a
None
claim.
of this is Missy's fault. Moments prior, like I said, they had been, carrying on, listening to music, everything's happy-go-lucky. And now they're bullying, pushing her, yelling at her, calling her awful, terrible names. Ava the whole time was just watching in horror and didn't know what to do. She didn't participate.
She's like young, like still young, like you don't know what to do.
Yeah, they're all like 17 years old.
Yeah.
What are you going to do at 17?
Plus, cell phones weren't a thing yet.
Right. Laura had grabbed Missy's wrist and pulled her and told her, "Let's go for a walk."
Oh boy.
Missy hesitated, and that's when Karen came up and pushed her towards the wooded area. Like, "Let's go, bitch. We're going in the woods." All four of us walked down the embankment to the creek. Laura and Karen continued screaming at Missy, said Ava. Laura yanked on Missy by the hair and again accused her of sleeping with her her boyfriend, Victor, Laura and Karen started shoving Missy back and forth, and finally shoved her to the ground into a muddy, wet area of the forest. Missy was scared and was asking for forgiveness. She just had no idea what her fate was. During this, Ava got terrified and started running back to the car. But midway, she heard Missy screaming for her to help, and Ava was fearful of her own life. So Ava said, I was scared, so I ran back to where the cars were parked. But Laura and Karen continued to beat Missy, mainly focusing on her face. The beating was so severe that one of her earrings ended up pulled out of her ear and tangled up in her long brown hair.
God.
Hard to process.
Yeah, but like also like they don't know. They don't even think about the fact that they could actually kill someone.
Right.
Or what's to come after that. The
Yeah.
circumstance past that point. Like they don't even have those thoughts.
Right. They're too young to understand
Yeah.
the finality of what all this means.
And it's not to say that
not
they
an
don't know,
Right.
but they really don't, because they've never done it. I mean, like, it's crazy.
But one of the girls had a knife or a rock, and they started hacking off Missy's beautiful
Jesus.
long brown hair. Clumps fell to the ground, and this was in an attempt to make Missy, who was a beautiful girl, not so attractive anymore. Ava kept hearing Laura shout, "You're going to pay for what you've done. You're going to pay for sleeping with our boyfriends." The two girls picked Missy up and carried her to shallow water, which was where they put her head forcibly down into the 8 inches of water for several minutes while Missy was struggling. They continued to hold her head underwater for several more minutes and then found a 100-pound log and placed it on her head and neck. And Missy unfortunately succumbed to the drowning and died.
Jesus Christ. Little bitches.
Right?
Like the worst fucking kind.
Yeah. They're awful.
Oof.
In March of 1990, Karen and Laura were convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. Karen stated that she only meant to torment Missy and things got out of hand. You think?
Second degree also?
Come on.
Really? Second degree? I don't think, yeah.
It seems like there was some premeditation there.
Yeah, for sure.
And it seemed like there was a little planning going on, considering.
Well, and at some point during the several minutes of holding somebody underwater, you have to have a sense of, fuck, I'm going to kill this person. It's just as bad as strangling.
Oh, yeah.
It takes time. And during that time, that is a very personal way to kill.
Before this, they were beating her face in.
Yeah, which, like.
and then cutting her hair off.
Yeah, that's really fucked up. But, like, that shit happens pretty regularly, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a daily occurrence at our school that there were fights. So.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I remember Tara had to pick us up from your incident.
Yeah. Super fun. Where
that was when I first met Tara.
Oh, and one of my best friends from 4th grade was involved in that situation.
Yeah.
And I, to this day, wonder what happened to those girls. What became of them? Because those girls were real fucked up.
Yeah, they were nasty.
So, yeah.
Hopefully they're better human beings.
I fucking hope so, because they were really shitty human beings.
Yeah, teenagers are. So during this whole time, like with Karen's prison time and afterwards, she never shows remorse for what she did.
Mm-hmm.
She just blamed her behavior on Missy's popularity and attractiveness and was just jealous. Karen was released on December 9th, 2011 and served 23 and a half years in prison. Laura was released December 2012 and served 22 years. Karen also wrote a book.
Great.
A memoir about the crime and prison life after she was released, and even made a deal to make a film. But her book didn't do so well. And Missy's family also sued in 2015. And this started that whole process, created a state law called Missy's Law.
I've heard of the law, but I don't know what it is.
Right. So each state kind of has their own. Like I had another case where they made a law. It was the Gainesville murder.
Yeah.
He couldn't profit from his crimes.
Right. Yeah.
So they have that law. And then in California, that same similar law is called Missy's Law.
Okay.
Based off of this crime, because Karen was not allowed to profit now from the book. And there was even a time where Amazon put the book for sale at $0.00. So you can buy the book for free.
Yeah.
So,
John Wayne Gacy profited off of his artwork.
Yeah.
It's very terrifying.
I know. A lot of people profited from their
disturbing.
Yeah. Ridiculous. So this also in the law, it states that you have to contact the victims for permission. But what victim family is going to say, oh, sure, we'll make millions of dollars on the fact that you murdered our daughter?
It would take a real set of fucking balls to even ask.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
So needless to say, she didn't make any money off the book, but she did end up doing a lot of interviews. She was on the Dr. Phil show. And, but every time she had an interview, she just was digging her own grave and making herself out to be a shitbag.
Right. Because she was.
Yeah. But she does now, this is horrible. She does now do school tours and does lectures and talks about bullying. So she's now making money
She should be volunteering that time.
Right. I think so. Yeah. Not much is written about Laura after her prison stay, but I don't think that either one of the girls felt bad about what they did. Some jealousy and envy are normal in all human beings, but to go so far as to murder your best friend because they're more liked is a cop-out and an awful situation. And these girls were not Missy's friends.
No, they were not.
They were horrible human beings. And I understand that they're alive and well these days, but what they did is inexcusable.
Yeah, that's like,
And for Karen to go those 3 years to insert herself into Missy's life and be her mom's
what really
and best friend and basically surrogate daughter, it just makes me want to vomit.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Missy didn't deserve to die, especially by the hands of her best friends. And I hope that talking about this keeps people from being such awful humans.
Yeah. I hope so. But also, oh God, I can't even imagine. If I had stayed in high school, in a regular high school,
Yeah, there might have been some change, like things might have been different.
Things would have been different.
And not
necessarily
for the better.
I was not okay.
Yeah.
And now it's really coming to light what was actually happening in my brain.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't fucking focus sitting in a class. It was literally a waste of my time sitting there because students suck and they won't shut the fuck up so that the teacher can teach.
Right.
Is
It's
why
more
I'm
of a
there.
more discipline than
The
learning
I don't like the social aspect
of school.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And so by the time my freshman year was done, I was like a whole semester behind. I could not focus. And then I go back to independent study and all of a sudden I'm straight A's again.
Right.
I'm not even going to the school every week like I'm supposed to turn in work. But like I can do this on my own. That's how I learn.
Yeah. My junior year of high school, we were sailing.
Yes.
So I did correspondence.
Yeah.
And we would get a month of work at a time and mail packages off.
Yeah.
But my work day, like my school, I would start at 8 and end by 11.
Yeah.
And I would usually be ahead.
Yep.
And it was such a better work environment for me.
Absolutely.
Because of how my brain works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just never really knew what it was till this year.
Yeah. Ditto. We kind of are on the same path together.
Yeah. I made my doctor's appointment with my doc to talk about things, so I'm excited. But
I like it.
That story was absolutely fucking terrifying, but I'm glad that there's a law now, at least.
Yeah, and there's also a movie that was made in the 90s.
Really?
Yeah. It's called A Killer Among Friends.
Never saw it.
It was like made for TV Lifetime movie.
That's why I never saw it.
But Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Shut the front door. That makes so much sense.
Stars in the movie.
She was hot.
She plays Missy.
She was like an unusual hot.
Yeah.
She was different.
Different.
Cool. Yeah.
Kelly Kapowski.
Oh.
I know that there are several boys that are our age that had big old crushes.
Oh, well, how could they not?
I know.
But also, there's a bunch of Gen Zers listening right now, probably, that are like, who the fuck is she?
Right. So go watch Saved by the Bell.
I mean, seriously.
That's a good show, guys.
Smoking hot. Okay. I'm going.
But yeah, so the movie A Killer Among Us, it's you have to pay for it right now. It's only on Amazon Prime for $3.99.
Is it on Hulu?
$3.99.
I feel like it should be on Hulu.
It's not on Hulu. I looked everywhere for it.
Maybe it's on Peacock.
No, not there either.
Damn. I'm not paying for it. It's fine.
I watched the movie several times when I was younger because it came on TV.
Right.
Like when I was at my dad's, probably. And I remember this movie after researching and working on my story. I was like, that's that movie. And sure enough,
it stuck with you. Yeah,
it did. And I just remember, I mean, the murder scene, just those girls being so nasty and
rude. Okay, well, yikes.
But so there you have it. Mom Irene is an advocate for this law, Missy's law, and her brothers, they're all doing well, I believe. Not much on the family.
Right.
But I do know that they it hit them hard.
I mean, how could it not? That's like so fucking shocking. So shocking.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So WordPress, Daily News, Wikipedia, and the movie A Killer Among Us. Among Us.
So if you want to pay to watch the movie.
Or Among Friends. Sorry, not Among Us.
I think that's a different movie.
It is.
Killer Among Us.
A killer among friends, guys.
All right.
Friends.
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 Friends. All right.
Go do something good and nice for others.
Yes. And, yeah. Be good people. Don't be shitbags. All right.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
I think it's all we got.
All right. Till next time. Ta-ta.
For now.
Thanks for listening to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts. If you love our podcast, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. This helps us more than you know. If you really love us and want to support us, go to our website at www.crimecoffeeandcrafts.com. From there, you can join our Patreon, shop our merch, and find us on social media.